Okay, well, it was just stupid not to go live with I don't even know how many people are in this chat right now. Hi, everybody. Oh my god, I'm so glad you're here. I'm Carly. I know a lot of you. I know there's no freaking way I know all of you. So thank you so much for being here. This is a massive surprise, although it makes complete sense now that I think about it. Can everybody hear me all right, real quick? I think you can, but just to make sure. Yeah, it is 7. We got a little bit of a late start. DJs, what can you do? Um, so yeah, I'm Curly. This is my stream. This is D&B Q&A with me Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Central, 1 a.m. UK, and I talk to people. There's a ton of interesting, amazing, awesome people that I have met on Twitch. And I figured if I started a stream, it would be a really good way to con them into like talking to me for 2 hours so I could hear their story. So yeah, here we are. Here you are. I'm so glad all of you guys are here. We have an amazing guest tonight, Goldenchild NYC, and I'm gonna give him a pop up my little command here. Um, he is my guest tonight. Um, Amazing DJ, amazing wealth of knowledge, amazing streamer. I know like this much about the kinds of stories and the volume of stories that he has. I can't wait to hear more, and I promise you, you are going to be um, amazed. Yeah, Leaked Wisdom, it's Golden Child. I'm so excited. Oh my God, Miss Ninja. Hi. I'm so glad you're here. It's good to see you. I've been wanting to watch your set from Saturday, but I'm anxiously awaiting the YouTube post. So, oh my God, all the follows. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. So, just so you guys know, I have a potato for a computer. Because of that, I use a program called Stream Elements, and because I don't do OBS, I don't get pop-ups to tell me that I've had follows or anything else. So thank you in advance for your follows. I try and follow along on my stream manager, but oh my God, there have been so many. Crypto, thank you for the bits. No use for anger. Again, thank you so much for the raid. This is amazing. What a surprise. And I completely love that your stream was the soundtrack for me getting ready for this stream that you raided into. So freaking awesome. Amazing. Comrade Windex, thank you so much for the subscription. And I love that name. I would like to know the story behind that name because there has to be. There has to be a story. So yeah, we have so many amazing people here in this chat right now. Oh my God, and a gifted sub. That's amazing. Comrade Windex. That's like fantastic. Look at you. You're number one. You're the number one sub gifter. Um, so yeah, I was gonna do announcements, but we've got so many people here. I just want to get to it. But before we get started, I do just once again want to mention DJ Audio One. Um, you guys, he is a friend of the 916 Junglist channel and peeps. He's a great guy. And I don't know him personally, but he suffered a stroke. It was last week or the week before. He is out of the hospital now. He spent about a week in the hospital, but it is a long road to recovery if you've ever known somebody who's had a stroke. And he needs our help. Like most DJs, his income was significantly impacted by all of the changes that we've all been going through in 2020. What I've shared there has a link to an Instagram post with all the information about ways you can help. If you can't help monetarily, I totally get that. But you can share the post on your social medias, maybe. And they are also doing uh, charity streams on his channel. So I'm going to shout out his channel as well. And if you guys give him a follow, then you'll get notified um, when one of those pops up. So yeah, so I just wanted to mention that. That's important. Um, you know, He's a member of our community and friends of our friends. So there you go. Give him a follow. That way you'll get the alert when one of those streams comes up. And he's friends with like amazing DJs. So um, even if you can't throw biddies or subs or whatever, you'll see some amazing DJs. So yeah, love you guys. I'm so glad you're here. This is amazing. What else did I miss? Scam Circuit. Thank you for the raid. You're awesome. Always love your sets. You don't stream enough. And yeah. So, okay, let's just get started because I'm ready. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready. So Goldenchild, let's just briefly talk about that. Hey, Escape Velocity, it's good to see you. I'm glad you're here. So super briefly, because I want him to tell us about himself. Goldenchild hails from Brooklyn, New York, and I could tell that within minutes of talking to him. He is a unbelievably varied DJ, hip hop, disco, house, funk, soul, R&B, and also one of my favorites, drum and bass. He is, like I said, a wealth of knowledge. His streams will teach you something every time. So let's bring the guy in and make it happen. Whoops. Oh my gosh. Goldenchild, you're muted. I can't unmute you because you're muted.
Oh,
hey, there we go.
There we go.
Awesome.
How you guys doing?
I'm so glad you're here.
I know.
With all of these people.
With bagels.
Yes.
On my 1200s.
Bagels. let's talk about bagels. So I swore that I would never eat on stream because as a fat chick, that's really not a good idea. Because trolls, blah blah blah. But Goldenchild and I have been having a discussion around pineapple on pizza, and we can thank the Ellis Palmer for getting that started. We can't agree on pineapples on pizza. We also absolutely cannot agree on mushrooms on pizza, and I will not tell you why we can't agree on that, but it has to do with where they grow. And hey, low key, but what we can agree on is bagels. So, we got talking about everything bagels?
Yes, this is an everything bagel.
That's your everything bagel. Okay.
Yes, with cream cheese chive cream cheese.
Ooh. Okay, so I have, and I'm fully willing to concede that the best bagels are probably in New York. However, we have a great place here just down the road from me. What I have is trying to get in the shop, a jalapeno cheese bagel. And you asked me about it earlier. They're actually not that spicy. So are we going to take a bite like fat kids and just, love it?
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
I hope you guys all had dinner. I'm not gonna pass out this time, like I almost did, with no use for anger.
I know. Catch 22 is so angry right now.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have a mic. He can eat on stream all the time.
Yeah.
And actually, I thought of him because I had a chocolate chip Cliff Bar while I was getting ready. But
a chocolate chip Cliff Bar.
Yeah, it sounds better than it is. But
okay,
the chocolate mint ones are better. So yeah, bagels. Oh my god, I meant to tell you, you won't believe what they did to me, Goldenchild. So
what is this?
So you told me, right, that you really like cinnamon raisin bagels, right? Mm-hmm. And you put strawberry jelly on them?
No, butter and grape jelly.
Grape jelly. Okay, butter and grape jelly. So, in honor of you, I decided I was going to order a cinnamon raisin bagel, right? I wasn't going to put grape jelly on it because I don't have grape jelly in my house. But so the order is like Favor. I don't know if you have Favor in NYC, but you select your bagels and then they were like, select your spreads. And I'm like, okay, I want like a side spread of veggie cream cheese and bacon cream cheese. Okay. They have bacon cream cheese. It's amazing. They put it on the cinnamon raisin bagel. Who puts veggie cream cheese and bacon cream cheese on a cinnamon raisin bagel? I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
You got
I
to
couldn't.
take a bite now. You know you
Well,
have it in
no,
your
because
hand.
no, because it's been on my counter since like 8 o'clock this morning. Because I knew
Hey,
I wasn't going to eat it. So
hey, and some donuts sit there all day. You know, people still eat the donuts at the end of the
it,
day.
it's the cream cheese. It's the cream cheese that gives me pause. The dairy, I don't know.
Yeah, sitting outside, yeah, that's not a good look.
Yeah. Okay, wait. No Use for Anger has fresh raspberry and fresh blueberry bagels that he made in Alaska. You can send me some, bruh. I'll eat
What?
your bagels. I'll eat your bagels on stream if you send them to me for sure. Even though I'm only gonna have one bite of this because then I can't talk. It's just rude. Oh, jam, not bagels. Hey,
Okay,
man,
there you go.
send the jam. That's cool too. That sounds amazing. Keelmuster came for the drum and bass convo, stayed for the food dialogue. Absolutely, man. I know how to please a crowd. Food is life. Food
That's
is a
right.
good thing. Also, that's what I desire for this stream is like to be the kind of conversation that you would have over a bagel at 6 o'clock in the morning after the party's done and with a beer, probably because it's been, you know, a long, crazy night.
Right.
And I told Goldenchild this, but to tell you guys, those bagels on the 1200 is the best image that's ever been on this stream so far. So future guests, that's the image that you have to top is bagels on a 1200.
You know, I want to say what's up to everybody that's in the chat right
Do it,
now. Cover
please.
Gal, my homie Deep, Billy, Miss Ninja. I seen Louie, Charlie Eon's here, and Soleil. I seen Soleil as well. I just wanted to say what's up to you guys and everybody else that's in here as well. Crypto, yes. Uh, BB, how you doing, guys? Peaches. So,
Everybody's here.
mm-hmm.
All of our friends. You guys are
Just
awesome.
Rock. Yeah, man. Yeah. Thanks for supporting tonight.
Yeah.
Awesome. Double
Okay, so
G.
oh yeah, Double G, Miss Ninja, always repping hardcore, the good vibes crew for sure.
Darth Liquid. Yeah, man. So, um,
Okay, let me ask you this question because this kind of made me think about it as we're
okay.
talking and like there's all these people in this chat talking to us. Most of them I haven't ever met any of them. I don't know how many you've met. When did you get on Twitch and how did you start to find all of these amazing people and this amazing community?
I think it was definitely April because I remember my girlfriend telling me about it, and I was just like, I just put it off.
Mhm.
But I started to I did a live stream on Facebook, and it was all old school, and I just caught a bug, and I was like, you know what? I think this is the way moving forward. So I jumped on Twitch. She signed D's Nuts signed everything up for me. And I was just sitting back, and here she was, just like telling me about Twitch, how the community works, and blah 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 blah. I'm just like, she's talking a mile a minute, and I was like, you know what? Just sign me up, and I'll figure it out. So I jump on, and I type in drum and bass in the search bar, and then a couple of people show up. First one that I saw was Escape Velocity. Then it was From the Annex. That's the homie right there, From the Annex. And then
Mhm.
Billy. Billy was doing his thing, and I was just
Which
like,
Billy?
oh,
Which
oh,
Billy?
no, not West Coast Billy, but Florida Billy.
Got it.
Catch 22.
Yes, catch 22.
Yeah. So I was watching them, and they were playing vinyl, and I was like, shit, man, maybe I should maybe I should pull out all these vinyls and start playing this stuff again. Because
What
I haven't played drum and bass and jungle vinyl for like years.
you
It just sat
you
on
have
my shelf.
vinyl? You have a
Absolutely.
little bit of vinyl?
You think?
Okay, sorry, I interrupted you. So these guys are playing vinyl. You're kind of blown away.
Yeah, I was blown away by it, but I jumped in, I was listening, and then I was just like, I just started naming the things that they were playing. And like people like Annex and Billy and Escape Velocity were just like, "Oh yeah, oh you're absolutely right. Oh yeah, who are you? What the hell? How are you naming all this stuff?" And I was just like, "I I play jungle. I'm just watching you guys. You're inspiring me to jump onto Twitch." But
Nice.
honestly, if it wasn't for, and I tell them frequently, if it wasn't for Catch 22's push, because he kept on egging me, and egging me, and egging me, and he was like, "Dude, man, you gotta play these old school jungle vinyl. You got to, yo, people gonna love it. People are gonna love it." Oh yeah, and fuck, how could I forget? How could I forget this guy, Crypto Shell? That's another dude that I was like, him, T Mox, all the vinyl DJs that were here on, before the whole explosion happened with drum and bass. I can't forget. I'm my bad, Crypto. But yeah, I used to watch him, and just I'm like, wow, these guys are crazy. But Billy kept freaking pushing me and egging me on, and he was like, "You got to do it. You got to do it. You got to do it." So eventually, I did, and he just kept on hounding me, and I'm like, "Why are you up my ass, man? Like, what's the deal with you?" Man, people want to hear these records, but I said, "Do you want to hear these records, or the people want to hear these records?" So I started playing them, and then I started thinking of like other concepts. Like, I get so much new music, and I was like, I should have a drum and bass show. Why not? Because everybody else is playing different stuff. Like you have Crypto who's doing um like the all vinyl hospital ram kind of sound. You have T Mox kind of doing the same thing. And then you have Annex, who's just like playing records because he he loves playing these records. And then you have Catch, who's just addicted to this jungle sound,
Mhm.
and Escape doing their own thing. And I'm like, damn, I gotta jump on this. So I did. I
Yep.
did, and I owe a lot to Billy.
Mhm.
No Use for Anger, Catch 22, whatever you want to call him, the mayor of drum and bass, the mayor
Yes.
of drum and bass on Twitch. Man, that
Yes.
that guy helped me a lot. He did. So,
Yeah.
I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah. So, no use for anger. He said, what did he say? Where is it? Uh, you heard it. You're welcome, Twitch. So yes, applause for the one like Catch 22. You can also blame him and the man like Deep for my stream. So, maybe they offset each other a little bit, but yeah, well, I mean, that says something about the people here, right? That
Hmm.
everyone is wanting to help other people. Like, wow, you have something to offer. What do we have to do to get you to do it?
And
What?
I'm sorry,
No,
but
go, go, go.
when Billy was always hitting me up like on the phone, can I call you on on Messenger? I'm like, who the hell? I was like, this guy wants something from me. He wants something from me. He does. He does. And I'm like, man. And then King Deep comes along, and see, that's the beauty of this. It's like we all learn. We're all learning from each other, and we're all inspired by each other. There's no competitive race on what he's doing or she's doing or whatever, because
Mhm.
it doesn't matter. We
Mhm.
all have our own thing, and Deeps just brought it to another level with the whole drum and bass thing. It's so clever, man. I first saw him, I was like, what the hell is going on
The
right now?
world's number one drum and bass jungle news program or chat program. Sorry. I can't remember the copy from my stinger, but yeah. I heard about Man Like Deep show and I was like, "What?" Like that was the tagline I heard and I was like, "Huh?"
Yeah.
Cuz my brain first went there's more than one and then and then of course I had to watch it and forget it. It was over from then. So, okay, what when you first started, like were you just doing like a straight DJ stream?
Yes. And I had like I had this bootleg mic that was I had this bootleg Logitech mic. It was like so old, and I taped it. I taped it, and it was just straight DJing stuff, and I'm still doing what I'm doing now, like talking over the music, and
Mhm.
but I wasn't doing anything else. I was just doing strictly drum and bass. It wasn't
Mhm.
until I got my following, I visiting other streams and stuff. That's when I started to kind of branch out and you know play what's on my damn shelves, because
Well,
sometimes they just sit there.
yeah, and that's why I asked you that question because one of the things that I find really cool about what's happening at Twitch is that are you laughing at Double G? Did you have major internet issues when you first
Oh
started?
my god! First of all, Spectrum is trash. Spectrum, don't believe what the hell they say, because everything I would seriously every day I would have 6 hours of no internet.
Y'all are not making me feel good. I'm moving next month and my choices are Spectrum and AT&T. It's not good. I have Google Fiber now, so
You better do something. You better do something. You better pay extra. Like, no,
yeah,
do not
yeah.
with Spectrum.
Okay.
AT&T. Anyway,
Yeah, I
go ahead.
know, right? Right. Okay, so you had your mic taped together. You had major internet issues.
Yep.
What was your camera situation? Is it the same as you have
It's
now?
the
Because what you have
it's
now is fine. It's great.
yeah, it's the same. It's the same one I have now. But when my internet would go down, I would use my phone as a hotspot, just to to keep it going. Sometimes you would see me on stream like,
Oh my god.
but the sound was great. The sound
Yeah,
was awesome.
and that's what matters.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate thing. Real quick, Jimmy, thank you so much for the raid. Detroit Jimmy, I really appreciate it. Better late than never, right? Just kidding. I'm glad you're here. Um, so to make you feel better, El Hornet from Pendulum, when he started his stream, his camera was taped to a broom. Not even joking. That I wasn't there for that, but he tells that story over and over and over again. And so, yeah, the lesson for me in that is I'm glad you started with your taped together mic and you just did it. Like, I'm
Yeah,
so
we
glad.
you kept on, all these Twitch tips and everything, they all go back into getting more records,
Hmm.
upgrading, buying another camera. I'm working on a PC build right now. So there's a lot of things going on right now. And again, I'm grateful for Twitch, and I'm grateful
Yes.
for the community that's here, that appreciates music.
Yes. So, um, uh, sorry, I want to address this. Who was it? Someone said that I said it like as a bad thing about the mic taped. Double G, thank you so much for the sub. Texas love right there. Um, uh, And the reason I mentioned the taped on camera is because start with what you have, right? Like what if you hadn't started when you did? What if you had said, "Oh, well, tech problems, you know." This is our other guest of the show, the famous Biggie. Um, big personality, little dog.
Yes.
So, okay, so you do a lot more now than just spin drum and bass.
Yes.
And the reason I ask that is because you are like uniquely qualified for these other streams that you do. So tell the people the other streams that you do.
I do a strictly 45 funk and soul night on Wednesday. That's all the small records for people that don't know. You know, us old people, us boomer junglets or whatever you want to call us is that's on Wednesday, and then Monday I mix it up where it's 45 12-inch LP, and that's like the rare groove and soul nights, and that's the stuff that I collect. That's like my guilty pleasure besides listening
Oh,
to drum and bass.
no guilty pleasures when it comes to music. Just fucking pleasure, man. For real. Um, okay, so uh you're also kind of I was tuned in Monday night and when I was in on I can't it was last Monday. You were playing a lot of stuff and saying, "Okay guys, you want to know about where XYZ this harmonica came from this obscure 1997 drum and bass tune. I have the source record." Is that what you
Mhm.
do every Monday?
No,
Okay.
I wanted to do that to connect the dots for a lot of the drum and bass people
Yes.
because I think the music now is lacking a little bit of funk. So I'm just trying to show you where the roots came from.
Yes.
So I'm trying to show it. I'm trying to show you the reggae, the soul, the funk, the breaks, and all of this stuff, and the same elements that hip hop used.
Yes. Yes. I love that. I absolutely love that.
Hmm.
History is so important to know. And like, I love that there are a ton of, you know, younglists, as we call them. I use the term affectionately, um, that are just now or just in the last XYZ years finding drum and bass and jungle. That's amazing to me that they're still finding it and still falling in love with it. But there's a history that unless someone teaches it to you, you don't know, you know? So
Yes.
I love that you're doing that, but here's my thing. How did you acquire all of the knowledge to be able to spot that? Like to spot all those sounds?
You know, it's good. I just developed an ear for it. I mean, I used to do that for hip hop. I would just I would just listen to things and just be like, what the hell is behind this? What the hell is behind this drum? Or, what's this sound in the background? What's this sample? And I would read the liner notes in the CD, cassette, LP, or whatever the format was. And I would just see like produced by,
Mhm.
sampled from, excerpts from, and I'd be
Mhm.
like, oh, what is this? And I would find it. I would try to find it through my parents' collection, or I would just, go to the store and listen and try to find the artist and listen to it. Because back then it was like, you would go to the record store, like say Tower Records, and they
Mhm.
would have like, all the hits, and you can
Mhm.
all listen to them on CD, or you can sample, you can have like quick samples of them. And that's how I learned, because I would just stay in there. I would stay in these record stores and listen to mostly everything. And every time I got paid from work on Friday, I would cash my check and I would run to the record store, and I would just go to every section of the record store, and I'm gonna be and I bought everything I saw that I thought grabbed my, like, I thought it was like so interesting. I'm like, look at this cover. This is crazy. It's like rainbows and all this other stuff going on. Who is this guy? Ramsey Lewis. All right, I'm gonna take this. And then I would move on. That's jazz. Then I would move on to like rock. And then I'd be like, what the hell is this? Twisted Sister. I'm taking this. And that's how I got all that stuff. And then, like, in high school I started listening to a lot of soul and reggae. And then I would make like these mixtapes for the girls that I liked.
Oh,
And some
well,
some of them didn't
yeah.
some of them didn't even like this shit. They were just like, what the hell is this? This is my mom's music. What is this?
Okay,
What?
for
Come
the
on.
non-boomers in the room, um, explain to the people, like, this was not a mixed tape, right? It was a mix tape, correct?
Um
Or were you mixing?
No, I didn't. I didn't get my decks until 1997.
Okay, that's when I got
But
mine.
yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
Um. So yeah, I didn't start mixing until, like, you know like, confidently, until like junior senior year. But I was working on my craft from the middle of sophomore year.
Oh, wow. Okay, so let's rewind then for a sec, because you told me a little story about you and your mom, and you being young and your mom sort of mesmerizing you. So, um,
Oh,
who was like a real influence for you as far as like getting you excited about music?
well, when I was a kid.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's where it started, right? I'm assuming, since you were already DJing in high school, and before that you were buying a ton of music and you were listening to soul in high school too.
Yeah,
That doesn't necessarily just come out of nowhere. So, tell me
because,
about your early influences.
like, I was always drawn to music. Like, my mom and my dad shared this story with me the other day. I don't know why they always keep telling me this, but they were like, I we would leave you by yourself here, and you were just an infant in the apartment. We would leave you alone to pick up your brothers, but we would turn on the music, and you would just sit there and you would not move. And I'm like, wow, that's the 50th time you told me, but yes, that's awesome. It's awesome. And then it's like, the song I remember as a kid that just kept on playing in my head was "Play Your Baby Come Back."
Oh, yeah.
That's such a great song to me, and to this day, I can listen to that over and over and over again, because that was the song that my mom and dad said I would not move a muscle. I would just listen. I would just look at the radio and just sit there mesmerized. But moving from, fast forwarding,
Mhm.
by the time I was like, um jeez, by the time I was like 6, 7, 8, 9, I was singing.
Okay.
I was always singing and all this stuff. And I sang in my community, in my what do you call that, man? What the hell? Like the boys club.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
I did a song there.
The Mhm.
Um and then my mom was like, you like singing so much, I'm gonna enroll you in a choir. I was like, okay. And I would go there after school, do the songs. And my music teacher when I was a kid, she held me back and she was like, "Hey, I want you to sing these songs." And this is way after school, and she would be like, "Here, you gotta sing these songs." And she would give me like stuff like the Stylistics and like Johnny Mathis. But I had, I had no idea when I was a kid, and I was just like, you know what, this is great stuff. So I just kept on singing it until I did a solo piece in the sixth grade. She made me sing in front of like the faculty and all that stuff. She
Wow.
started. She forced me. She forced me to to audition for Les Miserables.
Like Broadway, Les Miserables? Like
Yes,
on Broadway?
yes. So I had like the sheet
Wow.
music, and now at that time I was 11.
Wow.
Yeah, but during that time of like being 8, 9, 10, I I was singing for Grace Church in Manhattan. I was like their lead soprano, and then I got a gig from the church choir to Leonard Bernstein in Lincoln Center. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I have pictures of this.
So
I
you
have
so
pictures
you
of this.
sang at Lincoln Center
Yes, I sang at Lincoln Center for
while
about
you were
two
while you were in
years.
single digits, like
Yeah. Yeah.
under
Yeah.
10?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
That's amazing.
And I couldn't do a thing. I remember not doing a thing. I couldn't go to the bathroom because when he was conducting, the orchestra, I was all the way in the back, right behind the tom drums and the bass drums and all that stuff, and I was just sitting there with my bow tie on, black pants, white shirt, not moving a muscle, and we couldn't move for 2 hours.
Wow.
Yes, it was crazy. It was so crazy. Now that I think about this, and I'm like, wow, I can't believe I did that. And I remember, going to his room with the rest of the choir guys, and that was singing, and some of the orchestra people, orchestra musicians were, in the green room, and he would just come out and be like, "Hey guys, what a great night!" Blah 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 blah. And I'm looking at this guy, and I'm like, "Yeah, that was fun. When are we gonna sing again?" But I
Nice.
had no idea until later.
Right.
I had no
Right.
idea until later, and I was like, "This is the guy that wrote West Side Story."
Yeah.
I'm like, "What the?" I was singing for this guy. Man, I sat back and I was like, wow. At one point I had a very strong voice. I was a soprano.
Mhm.
So that's
Wow.
that's the
Okay.
story.
So, Just Rock had asked if you played any instrument. Well, we already know that basically you played your voice. Did you play any instruments?
Piano.
Piano. Okay.
Yes.
Home lessons or at school?
Um Community center.
Nice. Nice.
I was 7 years old.
Okay, so you got like some sort of classical musical training from that. This
Hmm.
teacher that like so amazingly, Just Rock also said this, which I agree is like absolutely on point. Where is it? That this teacher destroyed any chance of stage fright because she forced you to do it. And
Yes.
I mean, what a great experience to have as a young person to just do it. Like you're talented, do it. Don't even think about being scared, just do it.
Hmm. Yeah.
Did you also learn about music through her, like the classical sorts of things, like reading music and, things like that?
Yes. And also, vocal control, certain hitting
Mhm.
certain notes, C, B, way A, D, F minor, whatever
Mhm.
it was. So she would go, you know, she would teach me, and
Yeah.
I I never realized this until now, until right now, and I was like, wow, she really did try to push me into the
Yeah.
into this into the limelight. Her name is Miss Martin. It was crazy.
It sounds like Miss Martin really poured, like, a lot of time into
She
you.
did. She
That's
did.
amazing. That's
She,
amazing.
she did because I remember, staying after school. Staying after school. Can you get him, please? Staying after school, just to get certain notes and songs down. And then she'd be like, "That's perfect. This is great. You
That's
know,
amazing.
let's keep it moving." And then all of a sudden, I'm singing in front of parent teacher night, even though I'm getting like shitty grades, being a bad kid. Well, it's not shitty grades, but I was being a bad kid. And here I am singing in front of parent teachers night.
Wow. Wow.
Mhm.
Okay, No Use for Anger wants to know, can you still play piano?
Can I still play? I know certain chords. Yes, I have never lost that. I don't know why. It's weird. It's really strange with me because certain sounds I can play off just by listening to them, and I
Mhm.
can just go to the keyboard and I just be like, "Oh, it's a D," and then just
That's amazing.
try to tap everything out. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you have a mind for it and clearly an ear for it. I mean, what you've told us already about, wanting to, something jumps out at you and wanting to investigate it. I mean, I
Mhm.
most people don't listen to music that way,
No,
like where a specific thing will pop out at them. Um, yeah. Um, Oh, okay. BK wants to know if you can get an all Latino night. BK, does Latino include South America and Central America? Or, like, I think it's a great idea. I think your Brazilian friends would think it was a great idea too.
I'm trying to. I'm trying. That's a whole nother story with the Brazilian records. That's a whole other story. But yeah, I can try to do that because I have a lot of I you know I see that stuff as I need to play it on record. I can't just
Yeah.
do MP3 because you know what it is. MP3 is so easy. It's
Yeah.
so easy to do because everything is in your fingertips. Everything in your whole library is right in front of you. It's
Hmm.
not special. There's
Mm.
there's anybody can play that. Anybody can just like, oh, I don't know salsa, but these BPMs match up, and I'll just mix it from there, and it's like you have to know this stuff,
Hmm.
like the Tito Puente, the Ray Barrettos of the world, the
Well, and
Cal Jader, and
and,
that kind of
and
stuff.
well, and people get this mistaken impression when it's on their MP3. Tito Puente ain't no 808, like that the human the human body doesn't hit, perfectly every time. Mixing that stuff,
It's
uh
hard as
it's im-
hell.
it's impressive. It's
It's so
really impressive.
and that's the challenge. Like, you know, I love spinning all that disco and the rare groove stuff because everything is so offbeat. It's not quantized like super quantized like drum and bass. Drum
Hmm.
and bass is you can just go like this and be like, oh, it's locked.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good. It's here we go, done. But when it comes to like the jungle stuff, that's it moves just like the disco stuff.
Hmm.
and all the soul and funk stuff. That stuff's moves, so you have to catch it at the right moment, and you just gotta go boop
Yeah.
mix.
Okay, I'm totally gonna skip ahead, and if I go too far, you tell me where you want to go instead. But this I have got to know. So the rumor I have heard, and I know it's not a rumor because I think I heard it from Catch, is that and probably from you too, is that at some point in your life you got involved with trips to the UK to buy records that are super rare in the US but are plentiful there, bringing them back, reselling them. How did all of that happen? And tell me what happened on these travels. I have suspicions. You know,
I can't really say all the
none of that.
crazy
No,
things,
no, no, no. Like
but
building relationships. That's what I mean. We were talking about that earlier. So yeah. Nah.
so yeah, like with me listening to jungle and drum and bass um in my high school years, because I was always listening to hip hop and R&B, but at the time that's all it was. And I'm not taking anything from hip hop because it was so exciting at that time, and I
Mhm,
loved it. I loved it, but I was like, there's something else beyond this music.
mhm.
There's always something else, because I was listening to everything else. And then my brother my brother my brother bought a tape. What was this damn tape? Speed Limit
Oh yeah,
140.
140 BPM or
Yes, the
140
first
plus
one.
BPM.
Yep,
Yeah.
the first one. And I was like, Feel the Fury and all that stuff. And the next day he brought home the Prodigy, and I was like, what the hell is this? Mad fast, it's so fast. And I was I threw the headphones down, and I was like, man, this is crazy. Because in before he was listening to that, he was listening to a lot of house music, and I would listen to that with him on the radio. And I'll be like, what the hell is this? Like, house music to me, I was like, what is this? It's so crazy. Like Voodoo Ray and 808 State, Distant Planets, all that stuff. And I'm like, what is this? And then all of a sudden he brings home 140 BPM, and I'm like, what? This is crazy. Prodigy. Then to um For Hero,
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Kirk's Nightmare.
Yes.
And I was like, what is this? It just flipped my mind around, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy sounding stuff. And from that, he just kept on buying all these compilations, and I just kept listening to it and listening to it. And then I started doing the research on my own, and man, For
Like
Hero,
researching
Goldie, yeah, the
like
music,
the artist, like researching the artist and stuff that he
the
was.
artists, just like looking to see if they cut an album, like, oh, Utah Saints.
Yeah.
Let me see if they cut an album. And I would just like go to the record store, open like Mix Mag or DJ Mag or Herb or whatever that was around at that time. I was like, oh, they do have an album. Oh, I'm gonna find it. So that's when I started doing that, and I was like, oh man, this is crazy. LFO, all these other like techno groups started coming out, like T99, um, Smarty, a whole bunch of these guys. And then I fell into For Hero,
Mhm.
and I was like, wow, this is like next level stuff. Because the stuff, the all the other guys was just like the techno, the break beats, but they went beyond. For Hero went beyond and did something else with it. They had like the soul, they had the funk in there, and I was like, what the hell is this? So you know I just kept on listening, and then I found LTJ Bookham, and that was it for me. And I was like, man, I got to DJ this music. I have to DJ this music because it's so unique, and it's everything that I like into one.
Hmm.
And then I ran out to, like, Liquid Sky, Temple Records, Throb Records here in the city before Breakbeat Science was open. And I'd be like, oh my god, I need to get this. What is this? I want everything good looking, everything good looking, everything metalheads and all these things. And I just bought them up. I bought them up, and then I was like, you know what? I need to go to the UK. So
So
1990,
were you in high school when you were buying all of these
yeah,
records up?
yep. Because I had an internship at Chase Bank. I was on the investment banking side, and I was like, the little gopher guy, like, yo, make me a copy of this and enter this and blah 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 blah. And then I just started to pick that up. That's another story. Um, but yeah, I would take those earnings every week, and I would just go straight to the record store. Liquid Sky, Temple, Throb, and I would just be like, okay, boom, 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 boom. Oh, I heard this. This is on this CD. I'm gonna take it. And then
Nice.
that was it. And then 1996, I was still working for Chase, and I was like, you know what? And they hired me full time. They hired me full time, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to the UK. And my father and my brothers were like, you're what? You're gonna what? You're gonna what? And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the UK. Got my passport, got all my shit together, and these guys thought I was so crazy. Everybody I knew, they were like, "How are you traveling by yourself to the UK?"
How old were you?
I was 17.
And it was purely just, I
It
love
was
this music.
because
This
of
is where
the
it's from.
fan base.
Yeah. But like, I love it. I have to go where it's being made. I have to go where it's
Yes,
come from. Wow.
yes. I
Okay. Hit me about that first trip. I
wow.
interrupted
First,
you actually. If you want to say more about the motivation, say it for sure.
about what motivation? The
To go to the UK.
Oh
That
no, it was just because of, like, things like, Goldie's Timeless and LTJ Bookham Mixed Mag. What was it, number 21? And then For Hero, Parallel Universe. I said, you know what? I've got to go to the UK. So 1996, I went for 2 weeks, and I was like, okay, let's go here. And I'm traveling by myself. I have no idea what the hell's going on. I do have uh, a London A to Z book before Google came out. So I had to, like, open the book, and I would stand to the side, open the book, and be like, all right, I have to go here, Charing's Cross, blah 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 blah. And I would just, like, jump into the turnstile, and get my travel pass and put it through the turnstile, pick it back up, and go through the gates. And it was crazy. And I would go. The first thing I did was, once I checked in the hotel. Can you believe I can't believe I did this.
no, no.
I
I'm sitting
can't
here
believe I
thinking,
did this.
well, okay, being from New York probably helped because the tube was like not a mystery to you. Like, uh, an underground is an underground is an underground. Like,
Yes.
but
Yes.
I'm sitting here picturing 17-year-old you with a guidebook in your hand, no smartphone, no
No,
like wildly available internet, not, I'm assuming, knowing anyone. And you're just like, I
I
love
knew
the
no
music. I
one.
have to go. Wow.
Yep. I knew no one. Nobody. And I'm like, okay, I get into my hotel. Boom, dropped all this stuff. What is UK known for? Fish and chips. Let me go get fish and chips. So boom, start jumping around, go to hanging out at the pubs, start talking to people, and they would just look at me and they're like, "How old are you, man? How old are you?" I'm like 17.
You should have
Oh
said
man.
you should have said 18. They would have let you
Oh
drink.
man, it was fucking insane. It was so insane. It was so much fun. But like, I would go to like um Virgin and HMV, Black Market, and that I would only stay around the around the Piccadilly Circus
Okay.
because I thought that was it for London. I was like, oh, this is it. Blah 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 blah. I'm finding all the record stores here. Why do I need to travel anywhere? That was my first trip. I went to some raves.
Nice.
Went to
And
some
this
raves.
was what year? 95?
96.
96. Oh man, that's a good
96.
time
Yeah. I went I
from
went
what I
to
hear.
I went to a rave called Stush. Deeps will probably know about this. Stush. It's it was like those one of those like jungle fever things, and I was like, wow, this is this is crazy because I had a friend I had a friend over here. This is the guy that really taught me the ways on how to go to the UK and how to navigate and all that stuff because he did have friends. I didn't have any friends, but he told them that, hey, my friend is coming over, and he was the guy
Nice.
that really taught me how to DJ.
Okay.
But the you know
Oh, by the
oh,
way, Leaked Wisdom and Man Like Deep both say they know Stush. So,
yeah, Stush
yeah.
nights, Stush, the Stush nights. The guy that I learned from, he used to be an old Cool FM guy. He was like an
Nice.
old promoter for them, and he really taught me like the real hard step style of jungle
Nice.
because I was like, man, I'm so into Bookham, and they were like, oh, you like the spacey kind of stuff, and I'm like, what does that mean? But well, getting back to being in the UK, you know, I did meet some of his friends, but they didn't take care of me until I came back.
Okay, before you do that, I have to say this because this was amazing. And of course, now I lost it. Oh my god. Oh yeah, that was it. Darkly Lit. This whole story is inspired by jungle being a hell of a drug.
It
Like,
it
I
is.
mean, jungle will make you at 17 years old get a passport, buy a plane ticket, go to a strange city, and just music, music, music. Where is it?
That's
So,
it.
what was it like at the end of the 2 weeks? What did you feel like when you had to get on that plane and come back?
I didn't want to go back. And I was like, all the raves in the United States, because I've been to a lot of raves in the 90s,
Mhm,
but the raves in the UK, or I should just say Europe, period,
mhm.
they're a different fucking beast. And if you don't know, you have to know. Because those guys out there, they take that shit very, very, very seriously. Like speakers, like boom, like in your face, like rooms. And when they would say, "Oh, in Arena One," it really was an arena. It was massive. Like we're talking like 1,000 room capacity or more. And
Wow.
the other room would be like 500. It was insane, insane. And I was just like, oh my God, what is this? What is going on? The raves here are totally different from the
Mhm,
raves out in Europe. Period. Period. I mean, over here, like we were. it was like this whole candy culture and dancing like this and all of this stuff. And I went to the UK. They fucking laughed at me. They were like, "What the hell is that? What are you doing? No, man, you don't dance jungle like that." And I'm like, "Oh man, how you dance the jungle? What is this? What's going on?" And they were like, "No, I mean, you just gotta groove. And you gotta do this and blah 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 blah." And I'm like, "Oh." And then they said, start connecting the dots for me.
Mhm.
And then,
Okay, so you came back. You came back after the 2 weeks. Were you already planning your next trip at that
oh
point?
yeah, oh yeah. I was like, I'm coming back. I'm coming back. And at the time, my friend was running a site, a record site, and it was Champion Sounds, and he was selling jungle and drum and bass and all that stuff. And I was like, dude, I got an idea. I was like, I'm gonna help you get your stuff. And he's like, what do you mean by stuff? And I was like, I'm gonna get these records for you for nothing. And he's like, no way, how are you gonna do that? So I would post up before Drum and Bass Arena got all, before they took down the buy, sell, and trade forums. I was in there posting like, I'm in search of these records. Who has them? And people would just, hit me up and they're like, hey man, yeah, blah 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 blah. I got this. And they would send me a list. And then they would be like, you know, where are you from? New York. Oh, no way. Can you get me New York hip hop? Can you get me some R&B? And I'm like, yeah. I said, can you get me jungle records? They're like, yeah, that's easy. I said, I'll trade you these records for jungle records. So the second trip, insane. I came with like a box, like boxes of stuff. And we're talking this is the height of good hip hop. So we're talking Biggie, we're talking all any name it, I had it. Wu Tang, Nas, this that, the youngsters, Naughty by Nature. I had everything on me, and I was just like, yo, I have 5 copies of this, 5 copies of that, and I would go to these record stores because with that one dude, that connection I made, he would be like, you know what? I think my friend would be really interested in this, and I'm like, okay, cool. And so he'd be like, yo, this is my boy from America. He's got all these hip hop records, and they'd be like, oh shit, really? He's like, what do you want for these? And I'm like, yo, jungle records. He was like, here. This guy would just be like, here, take these, here, whatever. And you know what? On top of that, I'll give you a tape pack. Done. And I would just jump around East London, South London, with all these record stores. And I would just be like, hey, you got the hip hop records. Boom. Done. And I'd come back with all these rare, like all these jungle records that you couldn't get in America. And I would just be like, hey guys, I got this stuff. And me and my friend would go through them, and he'd be like, yeah, I want this one. Yeah, I want this one.
Yeah, did many of those actually end up getting sold?
Yes, they did. Because
Okay.
I would get like doubles and some triples depending on the title. But back then, the prime stuff was 20 quid, 20 pound.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like 120 pound, 140. Hey, this is so rare and blah. I'm like, oh my god, man, this is a ripoff. You're ripping the people off on Discogs.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was that's how I acquired all my jungle records. Just buying and selling and trading and going back and forth to the UK.
Okay, so
Going
I need a mental picture here. So You said you brought boxes of hip hop with you. I'm assuming checked luggage. Are we talking like cardboard boxes here, flight cases? Like, what are you bringing with you?
I had two flight cases and a
Okay.
box,
Okay.
tape, and I would just be like, boom. This is before 9/11, and it was just a okay. Everything was just like, whatever. This is
Yeah.
yours. Boom,
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
No, fill out the form. Oh, are you claiming this? And is this your friend? No, none of that stuff. None of that. It was
No.
so easy. It was so easy.
Did you watch last week when From the Annex told us about coming back to the US with a big box of vinyl?
No, I did
Yeah,
watch some of the
he was like interrogated. It was after 9/11. And yeah, the box when they x-rayed it full of records did not look like records. He had a time. Uh okay, so first trip, you're just wide-eyed 17-year-old
Yeah.
just talking to people, going to some raves. Did you go to any of like the club nights like Blue Note or, any of that
No,
stuff?
no, I did not. I did not. I'm not gonna sit here and lie like, yeah, yeah, man, AWOL. No, no, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. But I did go. I did go to Rain Dance, which was a good one. Um, a rave in Camden Palais, or I should say the original name, Camden Palace,
Mhm.
Camden. Um, where else did I go? I have all the flyers here, but God, man, there's so much that I've done that I did over there. It's. I remember the last time I was there was like 2001.
Mhm.
I remember going to
How many trips had you made by the time you get to 2001? Your trip then.
four.
Wow. So that was your 5th or that was your 4th?
That was my fourth.
So 3 trips
2001. Yeah, 2001 was my fourth and last trip.
and every one of those 3 you're bringing records
Yep.
there and bringing back. Wow.
Yep. Hmm.
By the way, too, let's just say here that From the Annex was strip searched in that
That's ridiculous.
in that whole affair. I know, right? Look at him.
That's
He
so
doesn't look like trouble. Okay,
hell.
so last trip, 2001. Tell me about it.
Man, first of all, I met a girl, so I didn't have to pay for anything. I was just staying at her place, and I would just ride the summer out, and I would just go and hang out,
Nice.
and like I met some guys that had a pirate radio station, and I was staying in East London. I was staying on in Plaistow, which is right around the corner from like Stratford, and right around the corner from the Stratford Rex. And I got to experience that, the whole pirate radio culture, where they had the antenna down the block, but they were like transmitting somewhere else, and then it was like they had the wooden, they had the wooden they had the wood covering the windows,
I
and it
wish Doms was here for this conversation.
mhm,
Deep
mhm.
is here though, so that helps.
Yeah, I know Deep and Leaked and all those guys. They know. They know those. They know these days. They know these
Yeah.
days. The last trip, it was good because I went to the Midlands. I made it out to Wolverhampton. I made it out to Birmingham, and by that time, I had so many connections that I one of the friends that I met over on the internet. I still talk to them to this day. I'm very grateful for that. They had a store called Reload Records in Wolverhampton. So I went over there, and I was just like, "Yo, give me these tunes," and they sold it to me at a good price, and it was a lot of fun. And I went to the Cube Club to see DJ Trace over there. It was fucking dirty as hell. It was so dirty. It was dark and it was dirty, and it was just like one of those like crazy raves. And man, it was a good time. Definitely a good time. I went to back to basics. I finally made it there because I didn't make it earlier in my trips because still kind of stayed around the city center and just went only to like the east and a little bit of the west, a little bit of the north and the south. So I stayed, in the central area. But Midlands was that was crazy. I had a lot of fun over there, and I need to go back
Mhm,
because 2017 was my return back to the UK, but it was so and I needed more time. It was only like 2 days, and then I flew to from there. I flew to Sun and Base.
so, did you happen to be DJing at Sun and Base?
No,
No.
no, no, no,
Okay.
no, no.
Just had to see the
I,
party for yourself.
yes, and I wanted to, but I wasn't that known yet.
Mhm,
Or as you can say, people knew me, but they didn't
mhm,
they didn't trust me yet
mhm,
until I went to Sun and Base. But no, I never met Kemi and Storm.
mm,
I did meet Storm at a party in New York, but yeah, I didn't meet Kemi. No,
mm.
no, no, no.
Rest in peace. That was
Yes,
that was a
rest in
hell of a
peace.
loss. Okay,
Yeah.
so uh you are meeting people and you were known. How did all of that happen? Did that just happen over you were the guy with the hip hop records who wanted jungle or, tell me
Well,
tell me kind of how that happened.
I always had like the tracks that people wanted
Mhm.
because I was always trying to. I didn't want to play what the regular guys were playing. I didn't
Mhm.
want to do that. I wanted to play it with my own style and my own fashion, and I wanted to just do other things. And with all the knowledge that I had, the pirate radios, and going to the raves, and I had so much of that knowledge that I had that UK style about me. I had that energy.
Mm,
And this is the thing that I always strongly emphasize to a lot of the DJs in the States. And then I'm not trying to downplay them at all. It's just until you go and until you know the the where it came from, how it's played, why they drop it like this, and
mhm,
these radio tapes and all these tape packs, you won't really understand.
mm,
And I'm not downplaying any of the US DJs. None whatsoever. Because without them, like the Daras of the world, the AK 1200s, the Odie, these
mm,
guys they did it their own way. And
mhm,
it's awesome. It's
mhm,
so great that it came the Soul Slinger, DB, all those guys. I love those guys. Um, I've known a lot of those guys since the 90s as well. You know,
mhm.
Sh- Ian, Ian, Ian from Cool FM. Anyway, um,
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying because I love my scene that I found jungle in. I will love it forever. I think it was amazing. I think it rivals, anywhere. But I haven't had that experience. It's a completely different experience. I know it must be to be there where it was born, especially in 1996. Oh my God, I am so jealous
it's
of
crazy.
that.
It was
Like,
crazy.
but it's like I think it's a lot like people in the UK loving hip hop and they're coming into their own, doing their own thing. But if you're not in New York, you just don't have that experience. You just don't see that side of it.
Right. Exactly. It's the same. It's the same. Like you said, same thing with the hip hop. And I love hip hop from the birth to now. I really do, because it's the foundations of me. But like you said, I've seen it in its glory days, and I've seen it
Mhm.
in its party, and
Mhm.
to its mainstream, to
Mhm.
where it is now.
Mhm.
You know, it's the UK always says like it's the answer to hip hop, and
Mhm.
I'm like,
Mhm.
it's not that accessible as hip hop. You have to
Mhm.
have like a certain mind for drum and bass. You have to have a certain
Mhm.
taste for drum
Mhm.
and bass, and I think it's like you either love it or you hate it.
Mhm.
Drum and bass.
Yeah. I And again, not being an expert on this, and there's plenty of people in this chat right now who could disagree with me. My sense from the information that we were able to get, the knowledge magazines, the atmosphere, the tape packs, all of that was that uh jungle was an urban music, but yeah,
Yeah,
not the same as hip hop. Definitely. But culturally, the UK is so different too. I mean, they were playing drum and bass was getting Mercury prizes when we were over here just finding out what it is.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. For Hero, them guys were getting awards. Ronnie Size represent. They were on Mercury. They were
Yeah.
signed talking loud. Like these guys, those without those guys, drum and bass would be nothing
Hmm.
to where it is right now.
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
And it's just not. Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Anyway,
so let's No Use for Anger had a question I would like to know the answer to as well. Who was the favorite DJ that you met? And we'll just limit it to on these travels, on these 4 trips.
on these 4 trips,
Or I
God.
mean, you can go further if you need to, want to.
Well, my favorite DJ, period, in drum and bass and jungle or whatever you want to call it, it'd be Randall.
Okay.
Randall, Randall is he's the epitome of what drum and bass and jungle is, man. He's got so much selection. He's got so much style. He's tight, man. That guy is a killer. He's a killer. He is a killer. He's got DJ Die tunes that will never ever come out. Like 5 years later, you get it. He is a killer. A killer. Bookham, to me, he made me want to DJ drum and bass. He made me want to DJ this stuff because once I got the music, the good looking stuff, and once I fully grasped the techniques of mixing, I was like, how the hell does this guy do this? Because it's so, it doesn't start with the beat all the time. It's like spacey, airy, and you're like, what the hell? And you try to do it yourself just to like match the C, and you're like, nah, man, I can't do it. I can't do it.
And all of those atmospheric bits and all of the musicality, and it's not even just about the key that everything is in, but do does it get muddy because there's so much and all of that. He's
Yeah,
amazing.
he's amazing. I mean, forget about the key. Forget about
Yeah.
keys. This is before the
Hmm.
digital revolution. This
Hmm.
was this is about selection and feeling, which I still go by to this day. I don't look at my thing and be like, all right, this is 2A, so I'm gonna jump to 4A, then come back to 1A, then 7A, then 9A.
Yeah. No,
No.
I just mean like the whole like if I grab one good looking tune and I grab another, uh those two might sound horrible together because of the, you know, the mesh of those particular keys. But yeah, no, I mad props and respect to DJs that have that kind of sort of like detail minded, but I'm with you. It was always by feel, just
Yeah,
vibe.
it's that vibe. It's like, what I've learned in the DJ realm, and not only for drum and bass. It's all the parties that I've always been to, that I've been to. It's like the track that they're currently playing is great. Then the next tune is even greater. And then the next tune after that is even fucking insane. And it's like that's how I play drum and bass. It's like
Mhm.
it's gotta be, it has to have a build, it has to have a journey.
Mhm.
And you can play liquid tunes with the harder tunes.
Yes.
You can.
Yes.
You just have to
Yes.
know how to do it. That's all. But you can
Yes.
do it.
Yes.
You
I
can do
wish
it.
I wish I had some of my sets recorded. Not that I was an amazing DJ, but just the I played everything, like all kinds of things together because like and I wanted to kind of trick people. You know what I mean? Like you're standing here and you're expecting X. I'm going to get you to Z and you're
Right.
not even going to know by the time we get to Z, you're going to be totally having it even though that's not what you came here for.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Amazing.
Exactly.
Amazing. Okay, so we were talking earlier today about um, relationships. But first, what got us there was the idea that you have tunes, released tunes, unreleased tunes, whatever, that nobody else has, that nobody else can get their hands on. How do you do it? Why do you have those?
Oh boy. I remember, having silly VIP DJ Marky at one point before anybody had it. And I played in Ybor City in Tampa, and JB was there. And I drop it, and he runs up to the booth, and he's like, "Oh," and he was a little inebriated too. He was a little inebriated, and he was like, "How do you get this tune? Who are you to be playing this tune?"
You filthy American. How do you have this tune?
And it's like a running joke between me and John, because John gets a lot of dubs too, and I'm like, "Yo, how did you get that?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna get that too. Don't worry, don't
Okay,
worry."
wait, let's be clear. JB, John, John B, right?
No,
That's who
no,
we're
no.
talking about? No?
That's
Who are we talking
John JB. That's his real.
Okay, got it. Got it.
Sorry.
That's okay.
So basically, I'll put it in a nutshell. Um, when these guys come to New York City, whoever it is, I go out of my way to show them around and be a real
Mhm.
host.
Mhm.
To be a real host, like, yo, you're coming to my city, you got to come check me. You don't check
Right.
nobody else. I'm going to show you what's up in New York. And that, I pride myself as, for living here and born and bred here. So, I take them to the spots that they want to see. And I just treat them with respect. I don't talk about drum and bass 24/7. I don't, I just connect to them on a real level. And yeah, it's a, there's a lot of trust that falls into this. It's not just,
Mhm.
oh yeah, he's a cool guy, I'm gonna send him my stuff. No, no, it doesn't work that way. It's just like, hey, and I always keep in touch with these guys. I always constantly promote their music. Even on my drum and bass Fridays, I go on Instagram, I tag them all, I post up the forthcoming pictures and graphics and stuff, and these producers, they love that stuff. The labels love that stuff. Why? Because you're promoting the music, and this is the problem is today. They don't want to promote the music. They
Mm.
want to just like, oh, look at me, I got all these tunes and blah blah blah. But who are you to be doing all of this stuff? Who are
Mhm.
you?
Mhm.
It's it's crazy because all I want to do, it's like, especially now, and thank God for the Twitch platform, is to play the stuff that's going to come out. I'm not a marquee. I'm not none of these guys. I'm not those big name guys that have all these dub plays. But what I do have, I'm gonna share with you, and I'm
Mhm.
gonna let you know if this is coming out soon, if this is not, and that's it. I'm just trying to push the culture. I'm not
Yes.
double dropping. I'm not triple dropping and making all these noise. And no, yo. This is forthcoming on V recordings. Check this out. Boom.
Mhm.
Play it. Play it out. Boom. Check out this dub plate. Bang. Check out this release tune that you got to get this now. Bang. It's about pushing the culture.
Mhm.
Like, there when I got here, there's people out here that never even heard of Elfside.
Here on got here on Twitch?
Yeah.
Mhm.
When I first started doing my streams, I'm like, you guys don't know Elfside. What? I'm like, come on. I'm like, what are you guys listening to? And it's just, I just started playing his stuff. When he did the USB thing, um his dub pack,
Mhm.
he gave it to me months in advance. But it's not because he gave it to me, like, oh, here. He gives it to me because he knows me. He knows what I'm going to do
Mhm.
with it. He knows I'm not going to share it around. a
Mhm.
lot of these
Mhm.
a lot of these people out there, they go out there, they get these dubs, and then they start sharing it on SoulSeek, and they start trading, and that's what fucks it up for people like myself
Right.
that get these things. And it's like, oh, I can't really give it to you, man. Like, so many people have these things now. I don't know who to trust. And it's
Mhm.
like, man, I'm just playing this on here and there's nothing else. And if you don't want me to play it, just let me know.
Yeah.
It's all out of respect, and it's all just, you know, just being yourself. That's the number one thing. Be yourself. Be
That
yourself. Be honest.
that brings me to this great comment. The promotion game has changed. We need more authenticity. And
Yeah.
yeah, man, that's how it moves forward is, hey, you know, like this is what I love. Someone hooked me up. I want you to know this thing that I love. And because I love it, I want to share it with the world. I want to tell you that it's coming or, you know, whatever the case may be.
Hmm.
Okay, this it's speaking of an authentic question here. Here we go. Uh it's stupid StreamYard doing me dirty. Um so No Use for Anger asks, what is your favorite car ride or meal with a DJ? I feel like he already knows the answer to this question.
I think the most interesting car ride I had with a DJ, or I should just say, I'd say a producer, is DJ Hybrid. DJ
Okay.
Hybrid, he's a very, very, very nice guy. And he's just really cool to talk to, and like pick talk about life and all this other stuff. But he shared a lot with me, and I shared a lot with him, and we had nothing to hide and all this stuff. And we were traveling from here to Massachusetts, and someone offered us a ride, and we took it, and we just got to know each other more. We he didn't want to hang out with the promoters or anything. He was just like, yeah, let's go get something to eat, man. Yeah, let's do it, just me and you. All right, fine, cool. And we would just break the bread, like, and we would just hang out. That was the most interesting one, because
Mhm.
there was not a lot of jokes. It was just getting to know each other.
Mhm.
um Car ride, I would have to say,
He said you don't have to say the name. So, yeah,
uh,
I know he must know this story if he's giving you that out.
there's a person, yeah, and good thing you said that, because I was about to name drop it, because there's a guy who travels a lot, and he's part of a big crew. And the last time he was here, he's like, oh mate, he's like, bruv, I don't want to talk about drum and bass, man. I'm like, I'm not gonna talk to you about drum and bass. He's like, yeah, okay, cool. We get into the promoter's gonna pick me up, so just hang out with me. And I'm like, all right, cool. Good. The promoter comes by, you know, hey, how you doing? Blah 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 blah. He sits down in the passenger seat. I sit in the back seat. Turns on the car, opens up the fucking radio, turns on the radio, and it's like, yo, man, this is my new tune. What do you think about this shit? And he's like, the guy is just like nodding off, and he's like, oh man, I'm really 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 sorry, but I don't really want to talk about drum and bass right now. I just want to kind of tired right now. And he does that everywhere he goes. So these people don't talk about drum and bass and tunes that they're working on, and none of that stuff.
Mhm.
So he pretends that he's sleeping in the car. And he zips up his jacket, and he does this. He does, even though he's not sleepy, he's like looking on the
Right.
side of the window, like looking at how the city is, and he's just like, "Oh man,
Can't
I'm
I
so
just be me?
tired." Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of these guys, like when they come, it's like, "Oh man." First of all, some of these promoters don't even pick them up at the airport, so they have to find their own way to their hotel. Yeah, it happens. It happens. I heard
Yeah.
all the horror stories, all of them.
Okay,
Oh.
so moving away from the horror stories. So, uh, uh, did you have a question you wanted to ask me? Is that what you said earlier? Like, not to make it about me, just like, yeah, I'm with you, BK. I always want to talk about DMB too, but yeah, I get it. I get it.
All right, but before I ask you my question,
Okay.
Stromboli, Stromboli, this guy is talking about Stromboli. Stitch Jones, you got to come over here and have a Stromboli. This,
I
it's amazing. It's
know
amazing.
what Stromboli is. They do sell it in other places. I bet it's not as good, but yeah.
With the extra dipping sauce on the side, gotta have that.
Yeah.
Gotta have that. But anyway, my question to you is: you said you used to DJ.
Yeah.
Why aren't you DJing now?
So, in I started DJing in 97. I found jungle in 95, and I knew I would DJ at some point. I just didn't know when. So I started in 97 and had a great run. Um, but in 2000, um, I don't know if you remember or if this was your experience, but for me, like I was already deep into liquid, but I liked many other things. But in Texas anyway, the dominant sound was very much very aggressive, very techy, um, uh, uh, hard, uh, just it felt like there was no soul in that music. And I would hear it every time I went out from almost every DJ. It was almost nonstop. It was from it was the first guy, the opening guy, not thinking, "Oh wow, it's my chance to warm the party up," but instead thinking, "I'm gonna play bangers all night, my whole set because, this is my chance." Um, and so and DJing has started to feel like a job, and it was just it was like to the point that I played a party for South by Southwest that year and I played two step. I didn't even play jungle or drum and bass because
Wait a
I was
second,
just like,
you're into two step?
"Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Yeah." Wes, my friend Wes who was on a couple weeks ago, he brought Luck and Neat to Dallas in like
Wow.
yeah, in like 99 or 2000. And, I knew some other people that were into it, and I found it, and I loved it because I liked house, and so you have, like, this kinda housey vibe, but with a break beat. It was great. But, yeah, that's kinda where I was at, right? Like, just kind of sort of, a little disillusioned. And, then my grandfather died, right after Thanksgiving that year, and it was just kind of like this kick in the ass to sort of rethink, what am I doing? What am I spending my time on? Is this really, you know, is this really, where I want to be right now? So yeah, I stepped back from it, and I didn't even realize until this year how much I missed it. So yeah, um, fingers crossed, there will be a controller soon for Curly.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, there's no reason not to, especially because, what's always been prohibitive about it is buying the techniques, buying the mixer, getting the vinyl again. I sadly, due to unfortunate events that never came to be, I got rid of almost all of my vinyl in 2018. Um, which is sad, but I still have some, which means that No Use for Anger will probably be, a lucky man here before too long. Um,
Everybody wants to give vinyl to catch. Why?
you have all the vinyl, you don't need any. We could do a contest for it though if there's a single record I have that you don't have. I sincerely doubt that. But, yeah, so that's why. But being on Twitch, I've always loved drum and bass. I never stopped loving it, but I stopped following it really closely. But, being on Twitch, I'm following it more closely than I have in 20 years. I'm listening to more of it. I'm seeing more DJs and all these amazing DJs and all this amazing music. All I want to do is spin again. Like,
You
I
should.
don't care. I don't care if another human being ever hears me do it. I just want to do it. So, yeah, there you
You,
go.
should.
That's my
You totally should.
yeah.
It's another outlet to relieve stress and all this other stuff. And why not? You're
Well,
a music lover. You want to share what you like to people.
and it's a way to interact with the music that you can make the music, you can DJ, you can dance to the music, you can listen to the music, but DJing there is this it's just a way to interact with the music that is different than everything else. And yeah, it and I am a huge believer in the therapeutic sanity maintaining power of creative expression. And that is definitely a way to creatively express yourself.
You know,
So,
I
yeah.
I try to portray that on Monday. My vibe on Monday is totally different from drum and bass, and it's just, I try to speak with the music more instead of just playing them.
Mhm.
Because a lot of people just play the music. It's like, oh, ooh, I got this. This is a boogie tune, but I play that with feeling.
Mhm.
It doesn't have to be mixed. It's just, you know, a switch over, and it's like people are like, wow. You get there's a thing. There's a good book. This is your brain on music. Mhm. I think you should read that, Curly.
Yeah, yeah. This is your brain on music. Okay.
Yep. This is your
I'm
brain
into
on
that.
music. You should check it out. It's you can get it for cheap now,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's good to just get out of your comfort zone and be creative.
Mhm.
That's all.
Mhm.
That's all it is. It's just, just do your best and play from the heart.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and honestly, like music, drum and bass is it it changed the course of my life finding it, but also it
Thank you, bleeps.
m
Sorry.
it
Sorry to cut you off, but
no, no, no.
I just
Uh,
wanted to say thank you.
yeah, DJ with the bleep. Big up.
But I'm
Um,
sorry to cut you off.
no, 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 no. This is your show, man. We're here to talk to you.
No, 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 no. You were saying about creativity. No, I want to
Yeah,
hear you.
uh, shoot. Um, oh crap, I lost it now. That's fine. I'll remember it. I'll remember it or I won't. It's no big deal. Like I'm here every week. So,
So am I. It
yeah.
it can be very taxing at times. Like in the whole New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, I was burned out. And then I did Monday stream, a Tuesday thing, my Wednesday thing, and I was like, man, I need a break. I need a break from streaming. So I didn't. I skipped the whole drum and bass Friday. I was like, man, these guys can catch all these other guys on there. They'll be fine. And I try to, especially with drum and bass, I try to play across the board because a lot of the music now, a lot of the promos I've been getting is just a little funny. It's not my style per se, but I do love the label. But
Mhm.
so I always revert back, and then I always revert to like the plates that I get, the exclusive tunes that I get, and
Mhm.
you know the exclusive tunes. It's so funny because it takes it really took me years. It really took me years to get where I'm at right now.
Mhm.
And in drum and bass, it's very hard to break through. But if they know, if those people know that you're coming from a good place, they will sort you out. And
Mhm.
it could be the biggest guys on the planet. You
Mhm.
know, the the whole connection. People always want to ask me like, how did you meet Marky and all these guys? Well, I did a gig with Marky in Cleveland. It was for my birthday. It was for my 39th birthday, I think. Yeah, yeah. It was my 39th birthday, and we picked him up at the airport. I was with my ex at the time, and I spoke a little bit of Portuguese because I was trying to learn Portuguese for work. And I spoke it to him, and he was like, "Yo, you speak Portuguese? What?" So, you know, we start talking. We get in the car, and then all of a sudden, he's like, "I want to go record digging." I'm like, "You don't say." I was like, I know that I was like, I want to go check out these spots in Cleveland too. And he was like, let's do it. And within an hour, we take him to the hotel, drop the bag, blah blah blah. And then we go to the restaurant because he was hungry as well. Uh, we sat in that restaurant with our friend um Mr. Shifter, and he was there with me. It was my ex and it was Marky. And we just started singing to each other, like, "Oh, you know this tune? Oh, you know that tune? Blah 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 blah. And, oh, I know where you sampled this, and I know where you sampled." He was like, "Oh, you got a good ear." And then from there, it was just it was we're like two peas in a pod, really. We're very connected. We're very connected in music.
Mhm.
We're very very connected in music. I man, he gets like I know I can feel like when he plays certain things, especially when it comes to like boogie. I can just see the label and not even know the artist, but I'm like, he's gonna play this. And he's like, damn, how do you know this stuff? How do you know that? How do you fucking read me like this? It's crazy, you know? So with that being said, like that's how me and Marky are very close. We just love the music that much, especially when it comes to like soul and funk and disco, because that's what we heard growing up, all the old school hip hop, and that's just us, and we just talk music all day long.
But not drum and bass all day long.
No, 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 no. Sometimes he'll be like, yeah, I got this new tune. This is it's not that great. What do you think? We bounce ideas off each other, and that's what I also do with a lot of producers. A lot of producers give me stuff, and they're like, hey, what do you think of this? How do you think people would react? And then I would play it on Twitch, and people are like, yo, what the hell is this? And then I'm like, then I smile. Then I go back to those guys and I'm like, look, they like this, they like that. I like this, but I don't like that. And I always give them like, maybe you should go back to this, or maybe you should, add this and add that. And they take that to heart.
Mhm.
And I've been doing it for so long with these guys that they give. That's how I get all that stuff. Um, that's how I get all that stuff. That's how I get all the promos and all the unreleased stuff. Like last year, I was the first guy to have was it Late Night Connections Benny L remix. I was the first one to have that, and I had to go through Brian G for that. My homie Track, who is the artist on that, and Serum, he had to ask Brian G, and I was like, oh man, I hope Brian fucking gives me a pass on this one, and he did give me a pass. So that speaks a lot of volume. I'm
Mhm.
in a place where I can test these tunes, and I can I have that trust where it's not like, oh, I'm going to share it with this guy and I'm going to share it with that guy. And that never comes out of me, ever, ever.
W What I love too about the way that you're talking about this is it goes back to, motivation and, like, pushing the scene. There are a lot of people, and there have always been these people because drum and bass is like a dub plate kinda culture. There are people that want exclusives because it makes them feel important, it makes them look important, it's, cachet or, status or whatever, but, uh, obviously, if people are saying, "Hey, test this out for me, see what your people think," they don't believe your motivation is about you looking like the cool guy.
No,
They think your motivation is about pushing the music
it's about
forward.
pushing the music,
Mhm.
pushing it forward. They see, those guys see that stuff. they see what I'm doing on online. I'm not acting like a jackass. I'm not, you know, making these silly videos of myself and posting of these silly memes and all that. I'm not doing none of that stuff. Like I'm just trying to concentrate. I'm trying to push the music as far as it can go. I'm just trying to in mind, and I think every state should have that person. Like
Mhm.
Stitch Jones. Stitch Jones, he was one of the another guy that I was when I first got here, I was watching him stream and I was just like, okay, he's playing some tech stuff, but he's putting in the groovy stuff. He's putting in the liquid here and there. He sprinkles the variety in there, and I'm like, and he knows a couple of people, and I'm like, why aren't you on these promos?
Mhm.
Why aren't you doing that? Because you can be a representative for your city.
Mhm.
You gotta. It's not about like, oh, I'm the greatest DJ. A lot of people sell a logo, and there's
Mhm.
nothing behind. There's no depth. There's no story behind the logo. You
Mhm.
know. So that's why I'm saying, like, be that representative, because drum and bass is so small. It's very, very, very tiny. And we all know each other. And if you share tunes, they're going to find you and all this other stuff. Oh, yeah.
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
It'll come back to them. It'll go back
Th
to
They can mark shit. Like, there's data that can be embedded in files, you idiots.
them.
Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah. Okay, so let's talk about that for a second. You got me thinking. So, you get on Twitch. Let's talk about the community here and this, like, absolute explosion of this very tiny niche music that started in the UK, but certainly has become a worldwide thing. Now, all of a sudden, we're all in the same place, and we all have this technology that lets us not just see one another, but speak to one another. Um, what has this experience been like with you as far as, like, the whole fun of building relationships with people?
I love it. I love it. I love it. There's so many people that I've never heard of that are playing now, and they seem like they're fun people.
Mhm,
You can wean out who's cool and who's not. It's just being on here. You can just I've just been in this. I've been in the DJ game for a very long time, and you can just see who's genuine and who's not.
mhm.
But you always gravitate towards the people that are like you, and they laugh, they like similar things like
Right.
and they love to joke and all this stuff. They like the musical taste. So it's an amazing experience, and it's not about it's given a lot of the guys that never had a chance as a DJ just to break through. Now here's your chance, because they're always booking the same people, or the
Mhm.
people that can do something for them.
Right,
Like,
right.
oh, let's book this person. When this guy is just trying to push his style and like just push this certain sound of drum and bass in his own way. So here it
Mhm,
is. And I hope those smaller DJs get
mhm,
the gigs the next time around, once
mhm.
the clubs go open up and they go crazy. I hope they get it. They do,
Yeah.
because a lot of these guys do deserve that.
Mhm.
But
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's taken the local DJ and put them on a world stage. Like, Twitch is literally a world stage,
it is.
and, like, it's, what the bleep just said it, like, that everyone's a bedroom DJ. It levels the playing field is absolutely leveled again. I forget who I was talking to about this, but like, even Marky, John B, Metric, all of these guys, they're big names outside of Twitch, but they had to start at ground zero too. And first of all, I'm so impressed that they were willing to do that, because this was not really something that most of them were, eminently skilled at, um, at doing. And they went for it. But yeah, like, uh, anybody can hit it.
Yeah,
But as No Use for Anger said, only if they push themselves. Keep pushing yourselves. Absolutely. Like,
absolutely. But you have to have a strong core, especially in the DJ scene, because there's a lot of fucking people that will bring you down and steer you the wrong way and do stupid things with you.
mhm,
But if you have a strong core of people that you trust and people that believe in you, you will get somewhere. You
yeah.
will get somewhere. Whether it
Well,
be drum and bass, whatever,
yeah,
house, disco, whatever, you will
yeah,
get there.
yeah. What I'm really loving about what's happening here is that, like, in the real world, and I'm sure it hasn't changed that much since probably it's gotten worse because drum and bass was bigger in Texas when I was doing it. Um, there's a limited number of slots, there's a limited number of events. And so, you know, you had to, um success literally was a pie. Um, there were only so many pieces to go around. Um, but here, nobody has to like you. You don't have to wait for somebody to book you. You don't have to have a name. All you got to do is, like, uh, you know, turn on your computer, fire up your controller, your decks, whatever, and, go for it. And we're lucky because this incredible community is, eh, I mean, this incredible community is here to network with and enjoy and, have a good time with. It's
It's,
amazing.
yeah, it's giving the DJs new life,
Yes.
a
Yes,
new life.
absolutely.
And all the DJs that I follow and I watch and I hang out, they're amazing, amazing. And I'm like, why have never heard of these guys?
Right.
Why?
Right.
Because it's like this gatekeeping and all the other stuff that doesn't make sense. But now that you see it in the light, you know, it's amazing. Like these
Mhm.
these guys are really loving. They just love the music as much as I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody does it in their own way. Like, Miss Ninja, Billy, uh, Stitch. They all do it. We're all in our own lanes, but yet we're still so connected.
Mhm.
It's
Yep.
crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, and what I love too about what's happening here is that, um, people want to know you, and they get to know you in this medium, and I think it would be it would be a mistake to think that just because you're a good DJ or just because you have a name, people are gonna come to your stream. They want to see you, they want to interact with you, they want to
Yeah.
know who you are. And, if I can get good music and good mixing and a good time talking to somebody, why do I want to go to another stream where there's good music and good DJing, but there's not good, time, good people interacting with one another? Holy crap, dude. It is 9 o'clock. It
Connection.
literally just turned 9 o'clock. You have to come back for sure.
Yeah,
If
totally.
I did not have to be up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, I would absolutely keep this going. But I want to raid into Man Lake Deep.
Okay.
Uh, we both have, we both have reason to thank him. Thank you so much for being here. I
Yeah,
just
thanks
have had
guys.
such a good time. I've loved getting to talk to you. I know we'll keep talking. You'll definitely come back. Guys,
I was gonna keep on talking until
I
the cows
I
came.
know. Well, I can go all night, like, that's why I do this show, right? Because I can talk. Guys, I just posted, a link in the chat. It is to, No Use for Anger's 1134 Discord. There is a channel for D&B Q&A that, uh, Ketch was kind enough to give to me. I want to use that to communicate with you. So, uh, tell me, go there and tell me, what do you want me to ask him the next time he comes on? What do you want to talk about? Um, and I mean, because otherwise, I'll just talk to him about what I want to talk about. But I'd love to hear. I'd love to hear what you guys want to talk about. And again, I will just say that it, my guests that come on make the show what it is, but you guys make the show possible, because there's no reason that anybody with a life and things to do um, should come and talk to my stupid self for 2 hours if there weren't people here to watch and love it and interact with it. So I love this community. You guys are amazing. I'm
I love
so
this.
glad. I'm gonna cry. I'm just so glad to be here, and as long as a few of you keep showing up, I can keep getting people. I can keep conning people into coming on here and talking to me. So, I love you guys, Golden Child. We will talk. Let me let's raid into Man Like Deep. Oh my gosh, next week. Yeah, look at me, a professional host. Um, Next week, Special Ed, the Boiler Kitchen, is going to be here. And
Nice.
I am super excited for that. That is going to be a great time, especially since he's had, he had a big absence for a while. Lots going on. So, yeah. As soon as I can force the raid, I'm going to force it. But yeah, Special Ed will be here next week, 7 p.m., same time. I talk on Saturdays. If you guys want to come and talk to me, please do. Um, you know, I love you. You're all amazing. Be good to each other, okay?
Yes.
Bye.
See you guys. Bye.
Oh, I'm still not an expert on rating, buddy. Thank you. I'm going to end the broadcast, but thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Not a
Uh,
problem. Yeah, we have more to talk about.